The next kind of observational drawing that I'd like you to practice is called contour line drawing. And unlike the gesture drawing that you just did, again, our gesture drawings are quick drawings that look at the overall motion and direction of the source that you are looking at. With contour line drawing, you are making a slower, close, steady drawing of the exterior and interior edges of an object or figure's form. So while gesture drawing is more internal, the contour line drawing tends to look at the external as well as dipping into the internal. So, what do I mean by that? Usually, with contour line drawing, you're using a finer tipped media and you are moving a lot slower than you are with a gesture drawing. Gesture drawing can be messy, it can have a lot of sense of movement to it. With a contour line drawing, you're using your eyes and your gaze almost as much as you're using your hand and the drawing material, the drawing tool. I love this drawing of a kind of unfinished figure because I think that you can see just how closely and slowly the artist is kind of tracing the contours, the edges of the figure that they are looking at. And it's not a silhouette, it's not simply just the outside part of the body, but instead you can see that there are areas where the artist is dipping in, where they are kind of following the contours as there's a directional shift across the surface of the body. And the artist is also using, this is a slightly more advanced technique, but different weight to their lines, right? So certain lines are heavier, you can kind of feel the weight of that part of the drawing, and certain lines are lighter, and you can tell that they're more about that contour sort of dipping into the body. So this is a beautiful example of a contour line drawing because it has all of the qualities that you're looking for. It looks like it's looking very carefully at the details of the subject. It's moving very slowly across the page. It's dipping into different directional shifts on the surface. And it's really looking at that overall contour of the subject itself. Humans are wonderful sources for contour line drawings. In a drawing class, I'll often have an assignment having to do with the hands because the hands are beautiful source material for contour line drawings. They have all these interesting details that allow you to dip in and out of the fingers and the creases. Another wonderful source material for contour line drawing are shoes, because shoes also have this kind of incredible lived in quality to them. They have rigid edges, but they also have these soft folds and creases where they've gotten used to a certain foot going inside of them. Even shoelaces themselves can become really interesting sources for contour line drawings. So lots of wonderful examples of that. The things you want to keep in mind for contour line drawing is that it is much slower than gesture drawing and it follows the directional change in an object's edge or surface. It looks at the external form more closely as opposed to gesture drawing that looks at the internal, or what I like to call the more skeletal form, and it's usually done with fine tip media for more precision. Keep in mind that your objects that you choose can be from around the house. Think about a mix of geometric and organic shapes. In the demo video, I talk about the techniques that I use. I demonstrate just how slowly I like to go when making this kind of drawing, and you can really see how it should look differently than your gesture drawing. So I'm looking to see that you have two different distinct observational drawing techniques that you are using. One last kind of exciting image to look at for a contour line drawing, these little studies of a bicycle. You can see that the artist is dipping in and out of these really interesting textures and materials on the bicycle surface. And again, even just that wire for the brakes have a really beautiful way of expressing just how slowly and carefully those lines are being drawn. So it can be really nice to choose something that you're excited to draw for a contour line drawing, because you will spend some time looking at it slowly. The next video you want to watch is the demo video for making contour line drawings.